Yo, what is up guys, it is your favorite Crow here and welcome to a new kind of video that where am I looking? You're right there. I keep forgetting that I have the face cam on, but anyways, welcome to a new kind of video. Normally I do let's plays, stuff like that, as you guys already know. But today what I thought I would do is, well, I've been seeing, as you can see, this little bracket here that's been circulating through Twitter. I don't know if it's been anywhere else, but I've been seeing it through Twitter. Sorry if you hear some noise. It's spring break, everybody's home, so I just wanted to squeeze this quick video in. Actually, I don't know how long it's gonna be, but yeah, just kind of bear with me on this one. But anyways, I was originally gonna make a tweet and then just have like a twit longer where I'd have my reasoning behind everything, but I thought it'd be easier to just make a video, so that's what we're gonna be doing now. As you can see right here, we have the Cartoon Tournament of Power with Nickelodeon versus Cartoon Network. Now, there are a lot of personal favorites in this one, so this is going to be hard. But we're going to go through this, and yeah, hopefully we get a pretty nice matchup, a fair matchup. We can't have the best show going against the worst show, you know what I mean? We need to have a fair matchup, some fair competition, some heartbreak, so let's get it. Alright, so to start, we're going to be doing Nickelodeon. And for our lineup here, we have Fairly Odd Parents, Danny Phantom, Hey Arnold, The Wild Thornberrys, Rugrats, Cat Dog, SpongeBob SquarePants, All Grown Up, Invader Zim, Avatar: The Last Airbender, The Angry Beavers, Chalk Zone, My Life as a Teenage Robot, Is Told By or As Told By, Ginger, Jimmy Neutron, and Rocket Power. So let's start with bracket number 1 up here. We have Fairly Odd Parents against Danny Phantom. I don't know how I feel about this, honestly. Fairly Odd Parents was a huge part of my childhood. I really loved it. But Danny Phantom was just so cool. It's probably one of the coolest shows to come out of Nickelodeon. One of the coolest shows. But let me see. This music is a bit loud for me. I can't really think. But let's see. So Fairly Odd Parents versus Danny Phantom. Now, Fairly Odd Parents was funny. Danny Phantom, I don't know. I thought Danny Phantom was really cool, but personally, I wasn't as hooked to it as Fairly Odd Parents because Fairly Odd Parents ran for much longer. There were a lot more shows. There were a lot of crossover. Well, not a lot, but there was a really cool crossover between Jimmy Neutron and Fairly Odd Parents with Jimmy Power Hour. That was pretty freaking clean. So for the first round, I am going to have to give it to Fairly Odd Parents. Simply because Fairly Odd Parents was there for a lot more of my childhood. And because I don't know, I feel like I have a stronger connection with this one. It was funnier. It had some really cool concepts to it, but then it kind of started to fall off towards the tail end with right after Foop, was that his name? Foop or Poof? One of those. Right after he was born, when they had the dog and then the girl got involved, that's when it started to fall off. But I guess that didn't really ruin it too much for me since I stopped watching it by then. But Fairly Odd Parents was definitely a more influential part of my life than Danny Phantom. So the winner of round 1 is going to be Fairly Odd Parents. Kind of a given. Not to discredit Danny Phantom. Danny Phantom was freaking cool, but anyways, next round we have Hey Arnold versus the Wild Thornberrys. Now, I didn't like Hey Arnold personally. I mean, not gonna lie, it was a really weird show. The main character had like a football head, and then the black guy in there, it's like, he had you could see his head, but it looked like it extended up. Like, it was so weird, dude. He looked like Marge from freaking The Simpsons, except you could tell that was Marge's hair. That was just super tall, but you couldn't tell with this man. It's like his head was like a fucking mountain and there was just hair around it. It was really fucking weird, and I never really got into watching it anyways. And with the Wild Thornberrys, I can kind of say the same. But the Nigel Thornberry memes does give this one a couple extra points for the Nigel Thornberry memes. Also, their crossover with Rugrats, with Rugrats Gone Wild, I actually really enjoyed that movie. And they had a really cool idea. I just I didn't get too much into the show by itself. But out of both of these, I did watch the Wild Thornberries more. So I think I'm gonna have to give it to the Wild Thornberries. Is that? I'll just put TWT since it's too long. Alright, now for round 3, we have Rugrats and Cat Dog. Now, don't get me wrong, I love me some Cat Dog. I thought it was really funny how it's like front half cat, back half dog, and there was like no legs in between. It's kind of like their arms were each other's legs. It was really weird, but I thought it was really funny how they'd get caught into a bunch of weird situations because they're just this super weird long dog, but they have their own like ways of thinking and their own things that they want to do, but they get in each other's way, and I thought that was a really cool idea. But Rugrats, I don't know, I'm really leaning towards Rugrats right now. That was a huge part of my childhood. And another thing I really like about Rugrats is the fact that, dang, I almost forgot what I was gonna say. It's the fact that there's a bunch of babies that speak their own language pretty much. They have their own things going on, their own business to take care of, but we just don't understand them. And they understand us perfectly, which I thought is interesting because it's like they can respond to us, but we just can't, you know, understand what they're saying. So we're like, oh, okay, go back to bed, little Tommy. When he could be like, I don't know, he could have the answer to solve cancer. Who knows? We don't. But, yeah, so for this one, I'm gonna have to give it to Rugrats. Let's see if I can fit it all there. Okay, fair enough. Wait, did I spell it right? Yeah, I did. Close enough. So Rugrats wins round 3. Now for round 4, we have SpongeBob SquarePants and All Grown Up. Now, this is actually funny because Rugrats is probably one of my favorite shows to come out of Nickelodeon, but I was not a big fan of All Grown Up. Not gonna lie, I thought that they were just milking the show for all that it's worth, and it didn't work out for me. I was a much bigger fan of Rugrats. All Grown Up, not that big of a fan. SpongeBob, on the other hand, SpongeBob it's so iconic. It's such a powerful show in Nickelodeon. It has such a huge influence over so many people, and it's such a good show. It's freaking hilarious, especially back when I was a kid. I found it super freaking hilarious, but now I don't know. I don't think it's too funny. I think it's just like, I don't know, that comedy that I found really funny, it isn't there anymore. Maybe it's because the times are changing. They're changing the humor to appeal with the new audience, but at least for me, I don't find this new SpongeBob season really that funny. But given that, I still have to give it to SpongeBob because SpongeBob is just such a powerful Nickelodeon cartoon, and it was amazing in its prime, so I have to give it to SpongeBob. But before I actually put it down, I actually have a funny story for you guys. So funny enough, I couldn't watch SpongeBob as a kid. Now, I could watch it when I was a lot younger, but there was one point when I lived in a duplex. My mom and my dad lived upstairs, and then my grandma lived downstairs. And it's actually really funny because I was watching it in the living room, and then my mom came in during the debauchery. Is that what it's called? Debauchery episode? With the panty raid. And she was like, "What are you watching?" And I'm just like, "I don't know, I'm just a kid. I don't know what's going on. They're stealing underwear? I don't know. They broke into Mr. Krabs' mom's house, and they're just stealing underwear." I didn't think anything was wrong with it. But then, since then, she was actually like, "Nope, you can't watch this anymore. Nope, SpongeBob has just gone too far." And so I was a bit heartbroken for a bit because I loved the show at the time. But then to get around that, I would pretty much just sneak downstairs into my grandma's house and watch it in her living room whenever my parents were like busy with something upstairs, and then whenever they'd come down, I quickly changed the channel. I think Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, and Disney were all right next to each other, so I just flicked the channel once and just be chilling there, just yeah, fooled you, mom. But anyways, I thought that was pretty funny, so why not share that. But the winner of this round is going to be SpongeBob. Let me actually move this down here. I should do the same with the wild thornberries. Move it under. Okay. Now, Invader Zim versus Avatar. This is one of those heartbreaking brackets for me, because Invader Zim, I loved Invader Zim, dude. Oh, what was his name? What was the little robot's name? Oh man, it's on the tip of my tongue. Dang. Gur? That's, yes, Gur. Gur is freaking hilarious, dude. The whole, what was it? I saw a squirrel. I was dying during that. When they went to get tacos, dude, Invader Zim is just such, it's such a big part of my childhood, because the comedy, I just loved it. I loved the comedy. And, oh yeah, while we're ahead, I think I'm probably gonna make this a two-parter. The first part is gonna be Nickelodeon, the second part's gonna be Cartoon Network, and then we're gonna have the last two kinda duke it out for first place. But anyways, back to Invader Zim. The comedy was hilarious. Out of all of these shows, I'd say that Invader Zim is probably the funniest show, which is why it's so heartbreaking putting it against Avatar: The Last Airbender, because hands down, I don't know what the rest of this bracket's gonna look like, but at least from my childhood experience, Avatar: The Last Airbender is the best show to come out of Nickelodeon. The best show to come out of Nickelodeon. Because, well, at least for me, because I'm really into action. I watched a lot of anime when I was a kid, and Avatar: The Last Airbender, it was, it's so close to anime. I don't know if it's technically anime, but it's super close. And one thing I loved about this especially is because a lot of the anime that I watched, it came on during Adult Swim, and I wasn't allowed to watch Adult Swim, so I didn't get to watch a lot of them. I had to kind of sneak to watch some of them, like Cowboy Bebop and all of those. But Avatar: The Last Airbender, it came on during the day, it came on Nickelodeon, there wasn't any Adult Swim, so I was able to watch this to my heart's content, and I just loved it, dude. Sokka is #1, dude. And it's just, Avatar was such a big part of my life that I just have to put it here. It'd feel wrong if I didn't. Avatar. Okay. I'd have to put it here. I'm sorry, Invader Zim. I wish you could have lasted further throughout the bracket, but you were just put against one of my personal #1s. So that's just gonna be that. Alright, and we're back. Sorry about that cut. Just had to grab me something to eat. But as a courtesy to you guys, I'm gonna wait until the video's done. Just wanted to make it now. But for round 6, we have the Angry Beavers versus Chalk Zone. Now, the Angry Beavers, unfortunately, I came in during the tail end of this series. I came in around when the series was about to end, so I know generally what it's about, but I don't have any personal attachment to it. I know it was a comedy, but I don't even remember the Beavers' names, so that's how late I came into the series. So I'm sorry. Oh, whoa. Before I make my decision, let me argue for Chalk Zone. Now, what could you imagine would be cooler than just grabbing a piece of chalk inside of your classroom, going to the chalkboard, drawing a big circle, jumping inside, and then there's a bunch of these big dumb chalk people running around? I thought that was so cool, and the fact that they could like draw new things with the chalk and then it'd come to life, that was freaking amazing. It reminds me a lot of what's that show called, Harry and the Purple Crayon or something like that. I think it was a book that they made a show after. I don't know, it wasn't around for long. But anyways, I'm gonna have to give it to Chalk Zone just because it's a lot cooler. It was there for a lot more of my childhood, and I'm sorry, maybe in another life we could have come to know each other better, Angry Beavers, but I'm gonna have to give this one to Chalk Zone. Let me move it so that you guys can see it better. Move that here. Alright. Ooh. Oh, I'm dumb. I thought As Told By and Ginger were two separate things. Okay. So anyways, for round, what is this, 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. For round 7, we have My Life as a Teenage Robot and is As something told by Ginger. I have no idea what that's about. Actually, let me look that up real quick. As Told by Ginger. As Told by Ginger. Oh. Okay. I remember this show. Yeah, I remember this show. Okay, let's go back. Where is it? Okay, so, yeah, after looking it up, I finally remember what As Told by Ginger is. But, one thing I have to say, although I do remember watching the show, I have no idea what it's about. I'm guessing the main character is Ginger, but other than that, I don't know anything. So it's kind of just My Life as a Teenage Robot versus a question mark. I don't really know what this is at all. But for My Life as a Teenage Robot, that was one of the coolest shows to come out of Nickelodeon. You cannot tell me it wasn't. Let me look at this lineup and see. Okay. Yeah, this is definitely top 3 for the coolest shows to come out. Because it's a robot girl. It's a robot girl trying to live a normal life, but she has this insane strength, a bunch of these cool gadgets, and she's just a crime-fighting machine trying to live a normal life. And there was nothing cooler in, like, Nickelodeon history besides, you know, the other competitors for the top 3 best coolest shows. There was nothing cooler than when her sisters got introduced. When, what's her name, XJ9? When her sisters came in, there was like a super buff one, there was a super thin one. They all had a bunch of different personalities, and I thought that was so cool, man. A bunch of these robots, all made, but, what's her name? XJ9, and I think she had to fight them too. But what was cool about XJ9 is that she's kind of the best all around. She's not the strongest, she's not the fastest, she's not the smartest, but she's like, overall, she's the best all around, and she had to fight them. I thought that was really cool. So this one is, or this round is going to My Life as a Teenage Robot? Okay, that's, yeah, that looks really weird. But anyways, My Life as a Teenage Robot is going to win round 7. And lastly, we have round 8. We have Jimmy Neutron versus Rocket Power. Now, again, I came in during the tail end of Rocket Power, but I did see a lot more of Rocket Power than Angry Beavers and Wild Thornberrys, Hey Arnold. I saw Rocket Power more than all of those, but I watched it back when I was so young that I don't remember too much about it. I just remember all these kids had their own little, what was it? Their own little... One of them had a skateboard, one had roller skates, the other one had, I don't know, a bike, and they'd all just roll around, do cool shit on those. But on the other hand, we have Jimmy Neutron. Jimmy Neutron was amazing. It was amazing. This is another one of those iconic series that were on Nickelodeon. And personally, I'm just going to have to give it to Jimmy Neutron, simply because I have more of a personal attachment to it. Because there were 2 shows, Phineas and Ferb and Jimmy Neutron. Those were the only shows that where I'd be watching it and my mom would come into the room and she'd actually sit down and watch those shows with me, and she'd like ask me whenever there was a new episode of those shows coming on. So being able to watch this with her was a really cool experience. I have a lot of fond memories watching this series with her, so I'm gonna have to give it to Jimmy Neutron. I'm just gonna put Jimmy N because it's too long. And let's straighten it out a bit. Alright, so for round 1 we have, or I don't know what this, yeah, I think this is round 1. Our winners are Fairly Odd Parents, The Wild Thornberrys, Rugrats, SpongeBob, Avatar: The Last Airbender, Chalk Zone, My Life as a Teenage Robot, and Jimmy Neutron. Let me move that up a bit. Alright, now for round 2, we have Fairly Odd Parents versus The Wild Thornberry. Now I'm obviously gonna have to give this to Fairly Odd Parents because it was around for a lot more of my childhood. Don't know too much about the Wild Thornberrys. The only reason why I gave them the W over Hey Arnold is because Hey Arnold looked so weird. And they they have the funny little the zoobity boobity bobbity bow, that weird kid. I thought he was super hilarious when I was younger, so I gave the edge to them. But right now, up against Fairly Odd Parents, I'm sorry, but Fairly Odd Parents is just it was there for so much longer. Here, I'm just gonna duplicate this. Yes, and then move it over. Boom. Fairly Odd Parents wins round 1. Pretty much a given. I mean, the Wild Thornberrys was okay, but it wasn't as iconic as Fairly Odd Parents. It wasn't as staple as Fairly Odd Parents, and Fairly Odd Parents was just overall much more successful than the Wild Thornberrys ever was. So next we have our second round with Rugrats versus SpongeBob. Now this is a toughie. This is a toughie. I had all of the Rugrats movies, by the way. I loved them. Rugrats Go to Paris, Rugrats Gone Wild, and there was one with Reptar. I don't know how many movies there were, but if I didn't have all of them, I saw all of them. But yeah, hold on for a moment. Let's who all remembers those little orange cassette tapes for all the Nickelodeon movies? I used to have so many of those, dude. I'd look into my cabinet and I had like all the regular cassette tapes, and then I had the orange ones. So I know whenever I wanted to see Nickelodeon or like watch one of the Rugrats movies, I just scroll through. For all the other black ones, you kind of have to take them out, look at the label. But for the orange ones, you already know what it is. It's no question. But anyways, Rugrats versus SpongeBob. SpongeBob is just such a powerful show. Such an influential show, and definitely a huge part of my childhood. So that's what makes this so tough. Fond memories versus just, I can't deny how much SpongeBob has influenced my life. Oh man, I really don't want to do this. This is really, really tough. But I'm gonna have to give it to SpongeBob because SpongeBob was one of the shows that I could talk to my friends and we would get each other's references. That was a huge thing throughout like middle school. Me and my friends would always make a bunch of SpongeBob references. So we talked about it so much more, we laughed about it so much more, and overall it was just a bigger part of my childhood. So I'm gonna have to give this to SpongeBob. I'm sorry, Rugrats, but SpongeBob wins this round. Next, we have Avatar versus Chalk Zone. Now, obviously I'm gonna have to give this to Avatar, but let me try to argue for it. Let me try to argue for Chalk Zone. So, Chalk Zone, it was a really clever idea. Oh, I didn't even go into Avatar. Well, I did a bit, but okay, so Chalk Zone, you have this world that you can go into. You had the main character, his friend, the girl that was actually real, and then he had another friend which was this blue guy. I forget his name. I doubt it was blue because Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. But hey, let me actually look it up. It may have been blue. Who knows? What was it? Chalk Zone. Was it Snap? Was Snap his name? It was Snap. Okay. Snap. Snap was really funny. I really like Snap. He was probably the best part of that entire show. But dang, it's just, I don't know, Chalk Zone wasn't around for too much of my childhood, so I can't argue for it too much. Where on the other hand, Avatar. Dude, I know Avatar like inside and out. It was one of my favorite shows as a kid. Hold on. Well, hold on. I'll wait. I might have a surprise that I'd want to reveal later, but for now, we have Foo Cuddly Poops, Sparky Boom Man. We have Swamp Benders. It was just so many innovative ideas. It's more than just people that shoot fire, people that like bend earth, people that bend water, people that bend air. It was more than that. They took those ideas and expanded upon them so much that it was such a creative cartoon. I fell in love with it, and I'm sorry, Chalk Zone. Actually, I'm not that sorry, because this one rightfully deserves to be up here in the victory spot. So sorry, Chalk Zone is eliminated. And for our last round, at least, dang, this is confusing. Last round for our second round, we have My Life as a Teenage Robot and Jimmy Neutron. Now, I argued for both of these already. I love I love both of these. I argued for both of them. Arguing against both of them. Oh, I should have thought of that. Dang. I'll do it more in the next round. But anyways, arguing against both of these. So Jimmy Neutron, I can't think of anything. It's just, oh, Ultra Lord? Dude, I didn't even remember. There's Ultra Lord. The episode when they all got superpowers and Jimmy was the Hulk and he started to kind of go crazy. That was awesome. I don't know what I'm doing right now. I'm just naming memorable episodes from these, which I already did for My Life as a Teenage Robot, so it wouldn't make sense. I guess I just really have to think and make a decision. My Life as a Teenage Robot or Jimmy Neutron? Man, I have a lot of fond memories, but thinking back on it now, if I had to think of one that I wanted to watch right now, I'd have to give it to My Life as a Teenage Robot. So I'm sorry. This is actually one that I'm torn about, just because Jimmy Neutron was, it's like its staple in Nickelodeon. It's one of the most iconic Nickelodeon shows next to SpongeBob, next to Fairly Odd Parents. And so eliminating it feels almost wrong, but My Life as a Teenage Robot, I'd love to watch that right now. So that's the end for this round. Let me actually, this is probably gonna look a bit scuffed. Let me try this. Why does my paintbrush look like this? Oh, let me just make a new layer right to the top. And so let's eliminate the losers real quick. So Danny Phantom is out of here. Get that out of here. Next, Hey Arnold, get that trash up out of here. Cat Dog. Alright, I'm not gonna call you trash, but I'm sorry, you gotta go. You gotta go. You were just put up against a tough opponent. All grown up, get that garbage out of here, bro. I don't want to see that anymore. Let me cover it up. I don't want to see any of that. Oh dang, I kind of covered Invader Zim. But anyways, unfortunately, you were put against my personal. If I had to bet on anyone to win this, I'd bet on Avatar, and I'm sorry, you just had to go against them. Next, Angry Beavers. I don't even know what the heck you were about, so you gotta go. You gotta go. Next is As Told by Ginger. I feel like that was probably like a lot like All Grown Up, actually. And then last, Rocket Power. I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you guys. Hey, don't look at me like that. I don't know what to tell you guys. You got put against some tough opponents. Now, for this round, the Wild Thornberries lost, so let's get them out of here. Rugrats lost. Let's get them up out of here. I'm sorry. I love you, but I love you. Don't blame me. Next, Chalk Zone lost. Get them up out of here. Get them out of here. And Jimmy Neutron got eliminated. This looks so scuffed. Oh my god. But anyways, for our last round, we have Fairly Odd Parents versus SpongeBob and Avatar versus My Life as a Teenage Robot. So let's jump right into this. Let's go here. Okay, Fairly Odd Parents versus SpongeBob. So let's argue against them. This is gonna be tough, but Fairly Odd Parents fell off, but SpongeBob also fell off towards the end. Both of them fell off. They were really good in their prime, but then they started to fall off. I feel like Fairly Odd Parents fell off sooner than SpongeBob. It's not their fault. They were probably just running out of ideas, and it just went to shit. It happens. It happens. SpongeBob, I feel like they were trying to change with the memes, and they kind of steered more towards cringe. So I don't know, but arguing against them more, I don't know. I can't really argue against them. These, if you look at them right now, look at what's left. Fairly Odd Parents, SpongeBob, Avatar, and My Life as a Teenage Robot. Now, with the exception of My Life as a Teenage Robot, these are some really powerful, influential shows. So arguing these two against each other is going to be really hard. It's going to be really freaking hard. Just because they're so... everybody knows what they are. Everybody knows what these shows are. So arguing against them is going to be tough. If I had to choose one, though. If I had to choose one to sit down and watch right now, let me actually make it challenging. If I had to watch the new Fairly Odd Parents versus the new SpongeBob, oh god, that's so tough. Oh man. I know a bit about the new SpongeBob. I don't know really anything about the new Fairly Odd Parents. I know the new characters with the girl and everything, but I haven't seen any episodes. I've seen a few of the newer SpongeBob episodes, but I kind of don't want to see Fairly Odd Parents. So if I had to choose one, I'd choose SpongeBob. Easy peasy. Oh, wait. I'm on the wrong one. Okay. No, not blending options. Okay. Duplicate layer. Alright, so SpongeBob is going to win this round. In the Battle of the Titans, SpongeBob has defeated Fairly Odd Parents simply because when it comes to longevity, SpongeBob is just, it's still, well, Fairly Odd Parents is dying. No one's really watching it anymore, and SpongeBob is still living strong. Now, maybe kids nowadays just have a really bad sense of humor, but there still are a lot of kids that love this show. So that's why SpongeBob is gonna win this. Why do I feel like I spelled sponge wrong? But anyways, next we have Avatar versus My Life as a Teenage Robot. Well, okay, obviously I know which one's gonna win, but I'm trying to argue for My Life as a Teenage Robot. This is the underdog we have right here. No one thought that My Life as a Teenage Robot was gonna make it this far into the bracket. There's some people back home that are sad, that are heartbroken, that Jimmy Neutron got eliminated, but My Life as a Teenage Robot, that's a personal, like, huge favorite of mine. But against Avatar, no contest. It's just no contest. I'm sorry. If anything, Avatar and SpongeBob, from the beginning, I like kind of made my predictions in my head. I thought that SpongeBob and Avatar would make it to the end. Seeing them actually make it to the end doesn't really surprise me. So I'm sorry, My Life as a Teenage Robot, but Avatar has eliminated you. But you should feel honored, because that is a great show. You got eliminated by a great show and not a trash show. So I'd feel honored. But so now, whoa. Before we get any further, we gotta scribble out the scrubs. You know what I mean? So Fairly Odd Parents gets eliminated here in round 1, and then My Life as a Teenage Robot gets eliminated here in round 2. This is a really weird system. But anyways, our finalists are SpongeBob and Avatar. Don't really know how I'm gonna argue against these two. It's just simply the fact of comedy versus action. I love both. They're probably my two favorite genres next to psychological. But I don't know. It's honestly, Avatar is way better in my opinion. It was a way cooler show to me. But SpongeBob was still a really big influence. Overall, I mean, I don't even know if I could use this. If I could watch either show right now, I'd definitely watch Avatar. But yeah, I'm sorry. It's just, I can't really argue for these. I hope you guys understand why I'm doing this, but I'm just obviously gonna have to put Avatar up here. It's a no-brainer. There's no reason why Avatar shouldn't be up here. Why does it look like that? Let me see if I can, well, whatever, I'll fix it later. But anyways, our winner of the Nickelodeon round is going to be Avatar, knocking SpongeBob out. So SpongeBob made it as the runner-up. Let's scribble it out to show that he freaking lost. Okay, that looks really scuffed. Let me let me go back. Make it look a bit neater, even though it looks like a 5-year-old scribbling. But anyway, the winner of this round is gonna be Avatar. So final notes. Out of all of these, I tried to argue for and against them in my head and explain to you guys why I made certain decisions. The only one that really caught me off guard was My Life as a Teenage Robot versus Jimmy Neutron. I actually didn't see myself making that decision. It was in the moment decision that I made. I don't regret it. Jimmy Neutron was great, but My Life as a Teenage Robot was way cooler. But just looking at the lineup for Cartoon Network, this is gonna be hell, man. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. But anyways, the winner is Avatar. I kind of saw that from the beginning. I loved Avatar. If you guys have any arguments for or against any of the shows that I eliminated that you think should be number one, feel free to leave it in the comments. But before I go, just want to show you guys something real quick. Alright, so the reason why, well, to give you guys a bit of background behind why I chose Avatar, just look at this. Can you guys even see it? Let me see it. Where's my mouse? Let me actually go to an arrow. Okay. Yeah, you guys should be able to see it. This right here is the reason why. Full collection of Avatar. Look at this, dude. I bought this a little while back. I think a year ago I got this. And of course I was gonna pick Avatar. Avatar is obviously the cleanest show to come out of Nickelodeon. The cleanest, no question. No question. It was top tier comedy, top tier action, top tier innovation. It was a really great idea, pulled off really well. This is one of the few like action shows that I used to watch that actually pulled off the ending incredibly. I loved the ending to Avatar. I loved Avatar all the way through. There wasn't a dull moment in my opinion. And so seeing Avatar as the winner is pretty obvious. But anyways, that's going to be the end of this episode, at least for the Nickelodeon round. Next up is going to be the Cartoon Network round. So stay tuned for that. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will catch you all in the next one. See you later.